All right. Well, it is in fact Saturday night here on the X Pound. I know it's a little bit late, but that means it is XRP time. Now, for those of you who have been following us, you'll know that last week was our final episode. So this week we're going to have a little post-show wrap-up with myself, Marcus Shadow, the host and narrator, and pretty much all the NPCs of the radio play/RPG. And joining me, we have two of our cast members. We have from England, Chriz, aka the Mole, who played Joey Daniels.
Hello.
And we have all the way from just outside New York, so I guess you could call him a New York country bumpkin, James Phoenix, who played Dr. Wayne Lewis.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me, gentlemen. Of course, missing from today's little discussion is Anastasia Laserbeam, also from the beautiful countryside of New York, playing Jane Fitzgerald, and our lovable, huggable gamer, our sad gamer, as it were, Richter Hammer, who played kind of Dr. Nathan Green. Now, it is still possible Richter may join us later during this recording if he happens to jump on. If not, then it's just us. So, I kind of don't have a format for this, so I guess we'll go right into it. Let's hear from you guys. What are your opinions on this? You know, what you liked, what you didn't like. Actually, first off, okay, let's kick over to the Mole. And first off, Mole, talk about your character and how you crafted your character.
I like my character. My character was created to basically be, in terms of real Ghostbusters, the Winston of the group, so I could be there to explain stuff to the audience. And then I gave him a gun, so he likes to shoot stuff. So he's pretty much like the guy from Police Academy.
Yep, he's also the non-believer of the group.
At first.
Yes, at first.
Which is ironic, given that he's the only one of us that went to the academy.
Like I mentioned, though, the academy has various different formats or different different classes. Me flunking, say, paranormal side of stuff, but acing all the other stuff would be like, did you pass high school and did you ace gym?
Touche.
Yeah, that was my thing with that. It's believable enough that maybe he passed on everything else. Like he gets the theory of the ghosts. He just doesn't believe that it's fact.
Right, and he aced all the physical stuff, so it's like, okay, even if he doesn't believe in this stuff, doesn't 100% know all the technology or whatever, he can keep his teammates safe.
Yep, pretty much. And I had him trained by Eduardo from Extreme Ghostbusters for two reasons. One, originally I had him trained by Lewis from the TV show, but I was like, Jim's making reference to him with his name. That's cool. Because I was like, people always overlook him as a Ghostbuster. So I was like, I'm gonna take out Eduardo because I really like that character, and people overlook Extreme Ghostbusters. I was like, I'm gonna take him. I mean, I am using pretty much his gun.
Which makes sense that he'd be the one to teach Joey how to use it.
Yep.
Fair enough. Jim, how about your character? What was your thought process there?
To be honest, the thought process wasn't as complex as what might think, because going into this, I knew the least about Ghostbusters. I hadn't seen the movies at the time. So basically, him with a name I thought was cool. I did play off of, two of Rick Moranis' roles, of course. Wayne being Wayne Zelinsky from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Lewis being Lewis Tully from Ghostbusters. And I'm just trying to play him up as kind of he evolved more than what I thought he was going to be, because I was thinking of kind of the smart guy. He was the smart one. He understood the theory of the technology and whatnot, that sort of thing. I didn't realize exactly how much of a leader he was going to develop into, because I knew he was going to be forced to be the leader, But I kind of thought that we walked into ghost situations that Nate was going to kind of handle most of what was going on there, which he did some of the time. But Wade evolved into being much more of a slightly exasperated leader than anything else, which was almost more of a Venkman than I intended.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's a reason Nate didn't gravitate toward the leadership. Which I'll go into a little bit.
A big fat phony.
Yeah, I'll go into a little bit about Nate because, number one, Richter and I are friends in real life, so we had discussions about him. And yeah, he's not here at the moment. Basically, when he was the first one that gave me his bio, and I read it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best character ever. I love this character. And when he and I were talking, he was like, yeah, basically, he based the entirety of the character off of the main character from the TV show Psych. And I was like, that's brilliant. Where basically, he has cursory knowledge of the stuff, he kind of knows what he's talking about, but most of the stuff he says just happens to be true. So maybe, belying, under all that, maybe there is some nugget of actual, intelligence there in terms of parapsychology. But for the most part, he's faking it. Which is why half the time when he's like speaking stuff, he's all like, yeah, we got this. And it totally works, especially with the look he gave his character, which I don't think the characters themselves were described that much in the show. Probably should have been more described now that I think about it, but Richter's description for the character is basically he was kind of dressed like Columbo. He had like the raggedy hat and the disheveled like trench coat and stuff. And I was like, I kind of like that. That's awesome.
I like this character.
Well, I liked it too. It was kind of, I kind of expected it to be more of a, to be almost more of an Egon with the knowledge of things that was going on, or even, I guess I kind of expected it to be more of an Egon, and he ended up being more of a Ray. Because I guess Jane was really our Egon for all intents and purposes.
Really?
Yeah.
She was our brains.
If anything, you were the Egon.
Well, you want me to? Or then she was the Venkman, I guess.
If anything, Nate was more Venkman cosplaying as Egon.
Okay then.
Minus the actual parapsychology, because Venkman was Venkman was kind of a fake too, wasn't he?
Not really. I mean, he was actually a doctor, was he not?
He was a psychologist. He wasn't a parapsychologist. That was Ray and Egon, wasn't it?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, he only did that stuff to meet women, with like the playing cards and stuff.
So Nate's basically Venkman cosplaying as Egon, or no, actually more accurately, Venkman cosplaying as Ray.
And let's give Venkman credit here. Of all the Ghostbusters, who had a TV show? Yeah.
Yep.
True. And then, of course, we have Pew, who, from what I gathered from what she told me, she basically designed her character after herself, so it'd be easier for her to play.
Yeah, she does that.
It makes sense, because whenever you're trying to do a character, it's sometimes easier to just try and make them a bit of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I expect every character to have a bit of the personality or maybe some of the nuances of the person playing them, but her literal description was, she started to describe it and literally just stopped and said, look, she's me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. But I think her character, like all your characters, actually evolved past what you originally designed them for, which is great. I mean, despite all the moments we had with Pew and her character Jane throughout the entirety of this radio play, I did see an evolution of her character, and that the last few episodes, which I feel, despite all the issues we had with those episodes, which people go and then we'll hear them. I think those were our two best episodes, just because the characters had developed so much, and the four of you had developed as voice actors so much. Maybe Jim, Richter, and Pew more so than Mole, just because Mole was the one going into this with actual experience, not voice acting experience, but you know, I'm assuming you've acted before because I know you've directed before. I'm assuming you've been on the other side of the camera as well, Mole.
Nope.
Oh, you haven't. Okay. Well, you've seen other people act, so you at least have that. Kind of, you take in what they've done and kind of pocket that away in your head.
To be fair, everyone's seen people act. It's called television.
No, but I mean, being
Or
directing
movies.
stuff, you've seen like the behind-the-scenes stuff, their preparation, and how they approach character and stuff. And then you, of course, have to direct them, so you kind of know. You have that experience from the director side of, okay, you kind of have an intuition about what your director is going to expect out of you.
Sort of.
But either way, you all, grew in leaps and bounds, and just those last 2 episodes, if I could go edit those into like one single episode, that right there is, yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, let's hear from you guys about. Now we'll go into the good, the bad, and the ugly of this production. So whoever would like to take the floor first, feel free.
Okay. The good is it worked. We managed to pull it out, and it worked. It was somewhat consistent. I hope I tried to make it consistent by, if it was a plot hole, at least addressing it.
Yes.
But the bad is it really wasn't prepared
Yes.
fast enough, and also failure to communicate with the DM. Because, like you said, like you should have an understanding of what your DM wants. But when I take a shot and then we're told in the next convo, "What are you doing? You can't shoot it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then it's only then 2 seconds later, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be shooting it." It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell with that? And like, I know Richter was a little, let's say, displeased about how his character was revealed to be a fraud, and also the fact it was in the script where he was revealed to be a fraud.
Well, yeah, that was a little failure on my part because I struggled the entire thing of what you guys expected out of me as the narrator and game master, if you will, in terms of pre-recording notes and stuff like that, because I kept getting different reactions from people and different requests, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of approach this like a radio play. I'm going to try to give them parts in here where they can kind of free roam, do what they're going to do, but and maybe we should have had like an actual discussion amongst all of us about expectations for this thing and whatnot, and about how it should be run, because different people were asking for different levels of detail to the point that I didn't know what I should write, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do this, and if I get no complaints about this level of detail, I'm just going to keep on doing it. The one problem I will say I did notice consistently, regardless of how detailed or not it was as a whole, your guys' inability to stick to a sequence of events. I was like, really? And it varied per episode, of course, who kind of jumped the gun and stuff. A lot of times it was Pew, but each of you at least once jumped a sequence, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of written in the notes. and then you guys would try to compensate for it. Like, for instance, if Pew were to jump ahead, then I noticed Jim would try to compensate for it, but I know that's really hard to do considering it's like, okay, now it's out of sequence, now what do I do? And so it was kind of an interesting exercise too, at least for me, in terms of, okay, if sequence gets completely screwed, how can I recover? Can I recover? But I don't know what you guys felt about that.
I felt Pew may have jumped the gun a bit, like you mentioned. Yeah, she did a lot, and she also reacted to what was in the script. That's why I was mentioning the fact Richter's thing shouldn't have been in there, because Yeah,
Yeah,
she just
hindsight.
randomly hugged him and kind of ruined his death.
Yeah, and I didn't expect her to do that, but in my own defense, up until that point, Pugh hadn't done much in terms of her acting style, if you will, to give me any indication of how she would react to that in terms of translating what she read into her character. And then the last two episodes, all of a sudden, you know, she started to do like lots of actual acting and portraying emotion, which really surprised me pleasantly. And I was like, wow, okay, she's actually putting emotion behind this. This is good. And then, as you pointed out, it's like, wait a minute.
Wait, did you say that pleasantly surprised you?
Yes.
Stuff like, yeah, Nate was a fraud, but he was cool, so it's okay.
No, not that. Just when she like at the end of the part one and stuff with like Nate's death and stuff, or like at the beginning of or the end of the episode before that when Wayne is going into the containment unit, like she actually started to portray emotion and actually act, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is good.
Yeah, I agree. She did it with Jim going into the containment unit, and we all did it with certain stuff. I was just like, what the part I was on about when you're like, yeah, but she took that and used it for good acting. No,
not that.
Randomly breaking character and hugging Richter is never good acting.
No, I'm just saying because in the episodes leading up to it, she had started to show a growth as an actor, in my opinion. I was like, okay, she's actually starting to portray emotion properly and whatnot. So it never crossed my mind that if I put in there, we're going to have this big reveal, that she would base her reaction based on me saying there's going to be a big reveal. Hindsight, yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't.
But yeah, like I said, there was positives. Like I said, I think we all did a good job on doing emotion on various parts.
Yes.
And like I said, there was also some negatives. Like I feel I'd be reminisce. Shout out to the sad gamer if I didn't mention Richter needs to hit something.
Yes, he does. I do apologize to Richter for that. We did have a kind of post-wrap-up discussion amongst ourselves immediately following the final episode where it was mentioned to me that I never let Richter hit anything, which I'm like, I never noticed that.
Yeah, every time Richter fired his gun, he misses. Pugh fires his own pack. No experience, hits straight away. And Richter's like, of course.
And that just hits fucking Gozer.
And Richter's like, yeah, of course it hits now.
Yes, but for the Gozer thing, to be fair to Pugh, it's not like she could miss when Gozer had his hand around her throat. It's not like Richter was ever trying to shoot something that was trying to slime him in the face.
We had ghosts that went right up close to him, like that alligator ghost.
The first episode, we were shooting at Slimer.
Slimer? Slimer. He didn't hit Slimer.
Everybody hit Slimer.
No. Jim hit Slimer, I think. Pugh obviously didn't have a weapon. When Richter fired his beam, it didn't hit, it just made all the ghosts run away. He still missed.
It didn't actually hit him, and I was making the point that, and that's with Slimer coming up and trying to slam us in the face, so,
That's why I also made the case, like, in a tight sewer with a giant alligator, he still missed.
Yeah.
And he was the only one with the glasses that told him where it was.
Yeah, I tried too much to keep a pacing to the story.
I did a big open theater with a monster flying right up there where you clearly told him it's up there, your option is shoot. He shoots it and he still misses.
Yep,
to be fair with that one, he missed because he wasn't looking through the glasses at the time.
He was looking through the glasses, he had them on.
Is he? Oh.
Well, yeah, that was the thing, he was looking through the glasses. He could see it, he took the shot, misses. I pull out my gun, completely blind, and just shoot. It hits the ghost. And Richter said, he was like, "What the hell?"
It's like you got a vendetta against Richter's ability to shoot any ghost. What the hell?
Fair enough.
I mean, granted, if we want to,
he wanted to pass on the curse of goddamn targeting.
Nice. But no, I think actually the ironic thing about that entire thing is it makes sense.
Oh.
Richter was a complete phony. How the fuck would he know how to shoot a proton pack?
He was a phony. He was a phony parapsychologist. He wasn't a phony Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there for that episode. Nobody told me.
Yeah, because I was too busy mourning his death. Hence why I screamed out to Pew, "Why would you tell him that?" Seriously, nothing was gained from that. Literally nothing. You're in the same situation regardless. The only difference is you now may or may not hate Rick.
Yeah. And also, Jim, I would point out, if Joey over there proved anything, you don't have to know spit about ghosts to be able to shoot a fucking gun.
This is true, but that's not a gun. It's a portable nuclear reactor that shoots
It's
proton
the same
energy.
thing that Joey's using, which leads into my next point of I probably should have researched the proton gun a little bit more, because I thought it operated like its secondary fire operates. I didn't realize its primary fire was basically a particle stream. Otherwise, I would have done some of the fights a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
And my bad on that.
Which is fine. But yeah, like I said, it went well. Like I said, we all have things that there's moments I feel that where everyone shone. Not in terms of the character, but in terms of just what the actor did. Oh, I hate calling us the actor. That sounds so pretentious. But what one of us did with the character, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like I said, I'm oddly proud of my reactions to Rick's death. He should die more often.
Yeah. I'm proud of both yours and Pew's reactions to Rick's death, because was not expecting that from her. Especially on that day, because going into it, she was dead fucking tired.
I meant the second one, where I'm all ultra serious for her, and she's all her. And she's even like, but it's okay, he's cool.
Yeah, where you like tried to treat him with respect, and she just kind of didn't give a shit. Yeah.
not just that, but I was also trying to stay in character of being serious, because I'm meant to be pissed at that guy.
Yeah, true. This is very true.
Well, even Pew had some moments. Even Pew had good moments.
Yeah, like I said, the 2 episodes leading up to the last episode, and even despite what she did to Rick's death in the last episode, it was generally a pretty good episode for her, because she did some things I didn't expect. Like, she didn't immediately put on the proton pack. I expected her to immediately put it on and be like, okay, now I've got a gun, and now we have to face Gozer, and slime thing's not going to work. No, she stuck with the slime thing, and she actually started using it, which is something she basically hadn't done the entire radio play unless she was outright told to do so. In this one, the final episode, she started to innovate with it. She started to think on her feet like a Ghostbuster should and be like, okay, I've got this slime gun. How the fuck should I use it? And she started using it, and it surprised me. I was like, whoa, okay, I'm going to actually have to react to this.
And then, of course, right before you had it in the script that she was supposed to use it, you did something to make her fucking throw it away.
Well, she interpreted it that way.
You made it so it was useless. It just ate through her slime like it was useless to use, and there was a choice. And there was a choice that if you used the proton pack or used the slime gun. So she said, "Well, this is useless."
Yeah, well, the thing is, she tried to use it against Gozer. What did she think would happen? If she tried to use it against, I don't know, the Destroyer, it probably would have done something.
She didn't try to use it on Gozer. She tried to use it just to slow down his attack, so we could just get away. Which, if it's just slowed it down, it would work. But you were like, no, it just keeps eating through it. That is completely useless against her. And he's like, oh, well, that's great.
Fair enough. To be fair, I did have the ulterior motive of I wanted her to get that proton pack on her back, which, now that I think about it, she never actually put it on her back. We just assumed it was on her back. Because I don't recall her ever saying Jane takes the slime blower off her back and slides the proton pack on. She just kind of picked up and started shooting from the ground. I'm like, wait, what?
But she mentioned she threw the slime gun down at one point, and she's moving around with the pack. So unless she's dragging it, I'm pretty safe we can assume.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The other reason I kind of tried to move her into the direction of put the proton pack on is because Jim jumped the gun on that episode a little bit, and since he was already on the mech, there was absolutely 0 point for her to keep the slime blower, because the whole point of the slime blower for that fight was to allow Wayne to actually hack the mech and stuff, but Jim jumped onto the mech, so I was like, well, okay. Pew just needs to get that proton pack.
I didn't jump the gun for shit. You told me you must jump on and hack the mech, so I jumped after the mech. That was your exact words in the text combo.
Also, I believe when Jim did that, we were all on the roof when Pew did the slime thing and threw it down, so it was useless.
No, because she didn't pull out the She didn't pull out the.
When that blast came towards all three of us, because I was on there too. I thought we all went. We all had to roll out the way because I was then due to jump off to go to Stay Puft.
Yes, I just recall her pulling out the proton pack after I had Gozer go after her after the two of you abandoned her.
That's when she picks up the pack, but that's not when she threw off. That's not when she threw down the slime blow because it was useless.
I must have missed that part. My bad.
Yeah, you kind of forced her into it by making it useless.
Yeah.
Whoops.
And then you kind of forced us because the agreement was that the mech suit was going to be fighting Puffed, and I was supposed to hack the mech suit, and then you threw Puffed off the building.
No, Mole threw Puffed off the building, but that was through a misunderstanding between the two of us, which is fair enough. Because it was supposed to be, I guess you guys had picked Mole was going to be with Puffed. It was going to be Mole and Puff to feed the mech, which we never got to do because it went straight to, we're going to go get the mech now.
I was on Puffed at the bottom at one point.
Well, you were there, but, I mean, Jim was down there with you and then just immediately went to go hack it. So we had to kind of roll the two together into rolling fight of Puffed and Buster v Mech with other Buster trying to hack it. It worked.
It did. Yeah, that misunderstanding was, like I said, you describe him climbing up the top, and when he gets to the top, he's blasted and falls. It's like, okay, that implies he fell off.
Yep.
Which, my bad for the misunderstanding, because in my head I saw he gets blasted, falls on his face on the roof after he's taken down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he would just climb up until he could poke his head over the roof and then just put you on it. In my head, he actually climbed up on top of the roof and then put you down. But fair enough. But hey, this was our first foray into this, and we do have another one coming up. But this was our first foray, and I think, I think it went pretty well, all things considered. We learned a lot from it, and we learned kind of what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that, what works, what doesn't work a little bit. And as we continue to do more of these, we will absolutely refine the process and we'll probably also grow as voice actors and in Pew's case, actress.
Yep.
And who knows, if this becomes a really, regular, popular thing amongst us, we may have special guest voice actors or actresses. But, yeah, Jim, go ahead. You talk for a little while. I haven't really heard your opinions on the good, the bad, and the ugly here.
Well, first of all, don't specify actress for Pew. Actresses in legitimate Hollywood have been trying to get rid of that tag for years. Everyone is an actor.
To be fair
enough.
Not all of them have. That's completely disrespectful. Some are really still proud to win Best Actress when it comes to like an Oscar or something.
Which is true, and that's fine, but I've heard a lot of committee they'd like to get that Best Female Actor is what they would like.
Yeah, like I said, it goes both ways.
Mm.
Also, let's not promise people special guests.
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying they're going to be. I'm just saying there's a possibility it could happen. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we almost had a special guest during this one. Almost. But yes, Jim.
We did?
Yeah, we almost had Tiff. But then it got rewritten, and she was kind of busy anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was going to do the role, and you were going to do it instead. Because you would be there for multiple episodes, and you didn't do it until the last 3.
Yep.
Poor Tiff.
But yeah, overall, I liked how we kind of grew as a group and learned to work with each other's characters and, where each other's strengths and weaknesses were when to throw to each other. I think it really helped us enhance us as actors. As for the bad, again, there was still, mostly the bad was miscommunications between us and you,
Yeah.
Marcus. So that was the biggest flaw, is that we wouldn't really understand what you wanted and you didn't understand our expectations, and then, we would inadvertently confuse each other, and it was just a problem of communication with that. The ugly was that entire first episode. Except for when you showed up, then it was okay.
And I'll point out to the people listening, that entire first episode, not me. I'm not in that episode until right at the end as the saving grace, and then it improves.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
You see, what people don't realise is I'm a method actor. That's why you haven't seen Crispy for a while, is I needed to know what it was like to watch a friend die.
Wow. And you call me morbid.
No, I call you a lot of things. Morbid's not one of them. Normally stuff like midget, sometimes racial slurs.
Okay then.
Celebrity murderer.
Celebrity murderer. I never call you morbid. Morbid is funny.
Fair enough. Yeah. I've been hoping Richter would show up. I guess he's busy with family. Fair enough.
Well, he's probably tired.
Or that too. Yeah, he went to whatever the hell convention is this week. Was it PAX?
It was PAX. It was PAX, which is very likely to be covered on XCR.
Nice.
I wonder if he met Andre. Because Jim Andre was in town this weekend.
Fair enough.
At least according to Andre. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I think we learned a lot, and I think going forward we're going to continue to learn more, and especially as, each iteration here, each 2-month iteration is going to have a different host. So, everyone's going to be taking, at least I know I will, taking things from each of the different hosts, myself included, in my mind figuring out what worked, what didn't work, kind of, seeing what the good and the bad from each of that, and then also being able to work with everybody else as actors, in this radio play RPG. We'll kind of get an idea of each other's strengths and weaknesses and which pairings or groups have better chemistry than others, because there's always, pairings and stuff that have the better chemistry.
I have chemistry with everyone.
Yeah. Or is there certain groups of people that have better chemistry? Like, I can almost No, I'm not going to say that. That'd be a dick. I'm not going to say that.
Like I said, I have chemistry with everyone. I'm awesome that way.
Yes, I can agree with that.
I will say that is something I tried to do during this radio play, even though I was just taking the piss. That is something I tried to do during the radio play. When I was with Stacy, I kept trying to do the thing of trying to annoy her character type thing because of how her character was, so therefore it'd be funny for my character. When I was with Richter's character, I tried to do it more like sort of like Fry and Bender. Like I'm just sort of dragging him into shit for no reason. And with Jim, I was playing up the fact I was the rookie and actually asking him stuff like, okay, so what if I press this?
Don't press that.
Yeah. That way he shows as leader, and I'm also then suddenly at the back of being shown as the inexperienced one. I was trying to adapt my character per person. I don't know if it worked well.
It did. I will say, I will talk a little bit about my thought processes as I was writing each of the episodes, actually.
Or lack thereof, considering we had to rewrite them each one before the thing went on the air.
I'm assuming your thought process was, we're about to record in 2 minutes, I better start.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, well, some of them. Earlier on, yes, but later on, no. No, I mean, I'd come up with an idea and kind of a direction I wanted to go. I'd write parts of it, and then after speaking with Chriz the Mole, he'd be like, well, have you thought about this? And I was like, ooh, that's better. That's how I'd be right for that. But no, what I tried to do with 4 people is I would try to pair you guys off so that, everybody would be working with somebody different in each episode if I could, or at least in pairs so you could see, characters interacting with other characters as opposed to in the giant big group setting. And because I had tried to rotate that around, I believe about halfway through-ish, I believe it was Mole who mentioned to me, you do realize you haven't actually had us do anything as a group yet, right? And I was like, what? He goes, well, yeah, look at all the episodes. You've paired us off, and then at the end we come together as a group to beat the bad guy. But if you look at it, it's all paired off for most of the episodes. So I was like, oh. Like, yeah, you should probably do some group stuff with us because we're the Ghostbusters. We're supposed to be a group. And I was like, oh, good point. So, and that's one of the biggest challenges I faced trying to craft the episodes and stuff is just how little time I was going to have to try to put the things in the story that needed to be in the story for the plot itself to work, but also have enough time for the characters to actually get fleshed out and have you guys actually, grow your characters and grow as actors. Because as I just said, we got down to like the last 4 episodes of the thing, and I knew the last 2 episodes I wanted to do the 2-parter, and then the one before that we were going to do the Puff thing. So I had the last 3 episodes kind of planned out, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably do group stuff with them. I didn't think about that, and that went into the whole I kind of ran out of time because I was so focused on individual character and how that character would grow, and so I would try to put them in different episodes. Okay, how do I want their character to grow, or whose character do I want to grow in what situation, and I would put them together so that their characters could grow. I never thought of the group dynamic, and I wholly regret not trying to include a full group dynamic more with the episodes, which is what Ghostbusters should have been. But yeah, as it went along and as we got nearer to the end, like I said, I had a lot of it planned out in my mind, the end of it anyway, but it became easier and easier to write, especially as I got into more of a rhythm with how I was going to be writing the notes and stuff, especially once I started adopting the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 style of writing notes for the actors. I think once I parsed that up, that made it a lot easier for me and helped me compartmentalize, okay, what do I want to happen when? But I don't know if you guys felt that me parsing it into Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 helped at all, or if it made it worse in your eyes.
No, it could have helped. I could go either way with that. That's why for the next ones going forward, I haven't bothered with the acts, because I'm like, well, I know people are going to do things maybe out of sync a little bit, so I'm like, I'm just going to do it all one act. It's all one cohesive story that way.
Fair enough.
Or at least you'll be able to tell there is some element of an act to it. It's just, I'm not putting it down.
Fair enough. Jim, your opinions?
I think the act structure worked okay. To kind of give us to kind of segment the episodes, we could focus on each segment at a time and know what was going on. I think it did help to better focus on what we're doing and not feel overwhelmed per episode.
I think the words you were after, Jim, was seamless transition.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Are there any final thoughts you guys want to give on this this production that we've done before I kick it over to the Mole to take us out?
Garrett should have been introduced earlier. That dude was obviously evil. He walked through hell in a suit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's clearly evil. Everyone's like, no, he's not. He's clearly evil. No, he's not. I'm betting you he's evil. That's why when we finished the cut, that's why when you actually, that's another one where you actually revealed to Pew, yeah, he was evil, and suddenly she never liked him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God.
Yeah, Pew. Yeah, again, the Garrett fell victim to the, oh shit, I ran out of time, I need to bring him in now thing.
He should have first.
I had planned to bring him in earlier. I'd planned to bring him in closer to like the halfway mark, a little bit before the halfway mark. But through the snafus we had getting this off the ground with episode 1 becoming a prologue because we screwed it up so much, and then like losing an episode for whatever reason, so I only had like 7 episodes to work with. Like Yeah,
We didn't
really
lose an
ran out of
episode.
time with this. I think we lost an episode because of prologue, but yeah.
Yeah, but we were saying the prologue is technically an episode 1.
Yeah.
We were just saying just call it a prologue because it was slightly
Yeah.
shorter. The episodes would have still been the same.
Yeah. If I take away anything from this in terms of being the narrator or game master, it's that I need to, if when it comes around to me again, if we do it again, I need to pace it better, and I need to take into account it's not going to be as much time as I think it's going to be for development. So I'm going to kind of have to rush some development things to get everything in and pace it properly. So I know that now, and I think that'll help me the next go around. But yes, Jim, any final thoughts over there?
Don't put the guy who knows the least about the property in charge.
Hey, to be fair, the guy who knows the most about the property said it would be okay.
Well, I felt overwhelmed, like I never knew what to do, and that's why I was constantly telling you to tell me what to do, because I didn't know what the fuck to do, because I didn't see the movies until halfway through this thing. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, it worked out alright in the end, but from my perspective, it could have been easier.
Yeah, I understand that, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I was looking at it more along the lines of, and I think everybody agrees with this assessment, of the reason I wanted you to be the leader is not because you wouldn't know enough about First of all, I thought you had actually seen Ghostbusters, but that's neither here nor there. It's not that you would know enough about Ghostbusters to be able to do all the tech or anything, but the fact that of everybody here, you would have the ability to lead people, and that you'd be able to lead and think on your feet. That's why I put you in that role.
Fair enough, I respect that.
Because at the end of the day, regardless if you know anything about Ghostbusters or not, just put yourself in the situation and say, with the knowledge you have, what would you do? And knowing that you have other people with you that may know a little bit more than you are. Because if you think about it, some of the best leaders are the ones that know fuck all about what they're getting into. They just know how to lead people and get what they need from the people around them.
This is true.
But fair enough. So that was Ghostbusters Legacy. I had fun doing this. I hope you all had fun doing this.
Also worth noting, you made up your own continuity, in case anyone tries to nitpick.
Yes.
True. Yes, we pulled things from all the continuities. Obviously Extreme Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters, the movies, even the video game, and made our own continuity with this. And I think it turned out pretty well.
The game's in continuity with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
The game's effectively Ghostbusters 3.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yes, I know I am an unoriginal bastard because I reused Gozer, but I thought what I did with Gozer was kind of unique. The whole parallel thing. It's like, I could do that. That works. But, yes, so like I said, I hope you all had fun doing this, and I hope anybody who actually listened to this had fun listening to it. And I will kick it over to the Mole to tease for the next upcoming 2-month project we have coming that he's going to be hosting on XRP.
Well, the next XRP is basically called DC Comics Multiverse Mayhem. And it's about a group of 4 people from 4 very different worlds that they themselves have made up from DC Comics, of each having a little twist on them, that are going to come together and essentially become the Justice League of a new world.
That should be fun.
Except Marcus, who dies 2 weeks later of AIDS.
Ha! Wait, is that possible? With my character? I don't think that'd be possible.
Never heard of a computer virus, bitch?
Everyone has AIDS, but I'm a dog, boom, AIDS. No? We're not going to do the Team America AIDS song?
No.
Okay, fine.
But like I said, that's what I'm going for with that. The idea of a new Justice League emerging in a world that's unfamiliar to a certain degree with heroes and villains, and now they're getting heroes and villains for the first time. So, but all the villains are coming from different worlds themselves. So it's going to be the characters you like, but with like different and new twists on them. So yeah, That's
That'd be
cool.
pretty cool.
Indeed.
All right. Join us next week for episode 1 of that.
Indubitably.
And good night, everybody.
Peace.